I know more about the environment than most people. I want clean air, I want clean water, I want a wealthy country. I'm an environmentalist. A lot of people don't understand that.
That the president suggested nuking them, dropping a nuclear bomb inside a hurricane.
It got released somehow. It's just something we talked about. Denmark essentially owns it, and strategically for the United States, it would be nice. We're going to Poland, and then we may be going to Denmark. Denmark, I look forward to going, but I thought that the Prime Minister's statement that it was absurd, it was an absurd idea, it was nasty. I thought it was an inappropriate statement.
Doral happens to be within Miami. It's a city. It's a wonderful place. It's a very, very successful area of Florida. We have a series of magnificent buildings. We call them bungalows. They each hold from 50 to 70 very luxurious rooms with magnificent views. We have incredible conference rooms, incredible restaurants. The ballrooms are among the biggest in Florida and the best. It's brand new, and they want that. My people wanted it.
Baltimore has been very badly mishandled for many years. It's a corrupt city. There's no question about it. All you have to do is look at the facts. Baltimore is an example of what corrupt government leads to. And I feel so sorry for the people of Baltimore. I am the chosen one.
I have been chosen.
I am the chosen one.
He is the chosen one. You must see it.
I am the chosen one.
The chosen one.
I am the chosen one.
He chose poorly.
I am the chosen one.
I am the chosen one.
Put that man in a rubber room.
And lock all the doors.
I'm Barry Gordon.
And I'm Andre Coleman.
This is NewsRap, live at 5.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yes.
Where you been?
Oh!
I'm over here doing shows with Kozlowski. I'm trying to keep this thing going.
And
Carl's
you're doing
here,
a great
and you talk
job.
about low energy.
You're doing
I got to
a great
pull it out
job.
of him. You're gallivanting all over the world.
I know. Well, not the world, but I was in Detroit. I was in Chicago. I'm here for the next 2 weeks, and then I go to New Hampshire. And then I'm here for a month, and then I go to Knoxville, Tennessee. So
Knoxville, Tennessee?
Knoxville, Tennessee.
On purpose?
The Fanboy Expo.
In Knoxville, Tennessee?
Yeah. This is all related to a job that I had in the 1980s and the 90s.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
And you were the voice of?
Donatello. So,
All right.
we've been doing Comic-Cons, and because they want all 4 of the originals, thinking that we're not going to be around much longer. So we've been doing those, and it was fun. Chicago was especially fun.
What's the response been?
We saw John Travolta over there, and because Comic-Cons attract an interesting group of people.
So what's the response been to the 4 of you guys together?
Oh, great.
Good.
Really great.
Good.
But I miss the show. I miss
man, it's great to have you back.
here doing what.
Great to have
and
you
look
back.
at everything that happened while I was gone. I mean, we have a bona fide crazy in the White House. I don't know how else to put it. I mean, you look at that package, and there's not a moment of sanity in it. And then, I mean, some of the things we didn't even show. Like the retweet that he had where they called him the second coming of Christ, and he was using that as a sales point to Jews.
Okay, stop talking. Just look at the camera. Say it again.
He used the second coming of Christ as a sales point to get the Jewish vote. And he also said that if Jews voted for Democrats, they either didn't know what they were doing, or they had a lack of knowledge, I think he put it that way, or they were terribly disloyal. Well, Donald let me clue you in to something.
He's going to go off.
There's
He's
only
going off.
one place I have to be loyal. That's to the United States of America. And the way I'm going to be loyal to the United States of America is to do everything I can to get your butt out of the White House.
Why do you have to be loyal to the United States of America?
Well, what I'm saying is that his assumption is that Israel is everything to me. It's not.
Okay, that makes more sense.
It's not. America is everything to me. That's what I am. I'm an American.
But,
As far as Israel is concerned, it's lovely. But if their government is as bat shit crazy as the American government, I'm going to say something.
See, I don't know.
And by the way, right now it is. I mean, Netanyahu is the Israeli Trump.
I'm going to back up.
Been for a long time.
I just don't even agree with the America is everything to me statement. America is not everything to me.
Well,
family is everything to me.
Oh, no, I know that. But I'm saying from a level of patriotism. He was basically saying that if you don't support Israel in everything that they're doing, then you're not Jewish. I mean, that's really what he was saying.
Well, you know what?
That's insane.
He's half-ass crazy. The point I'm making is this.
He's all-ass crazy.
Well, that's what it means. The point I'm making is this.
Yeah.
I don't jump up and down for land or countries or anything like that.
No, I don't either.
I will do it under one condition. Mm-hmm. When this country jumps up and down for people who look like me,
well, that's true.
Then I'll jump up in line and I'll jump up and down for it. Until then,
I totally get that.
Until then, you know what?
I mean, I get
a
lump in my throat when I hear the Star Spangled Banner at a baseball game.
I don't sing it. I don't put my hand over my heart. Okay. And they're lucky if I'll stand up. Never taken a knee.
I don't blame you.
But nah, I'm not.
No, I don't blame you.
I haven't said the Pledge of Allegiance since I was about 15 years old, to be quite honest with you. It's a Pledge of Allegiance. I don't take those kind of pledges to governments and countries.
Are you waiting for the second coming?
Of what?
I mean, because I'm not waiting for the second coming.
Well, obviously you're not. You're Jewish.
Yeah,
You're waiting for the first coming.
Right. I'm not even waiting for that.
Well, right now, I mean,
I like latkes.
Right now, I'm waiting for the election.
Basically,
I'm waiting for the election right now. And you know what? While we're here,
yes,
let me give you your props. What? As much as I don't want to do this, I'm going to give you your props.
All right.
All along, Barry Gordon has been saying and talking about one candidate that he favors as the best choice in the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
I'm going to say the name, and I don't have to, but you've been going on and on and on about how great Elizabeth Warren is. Elizabeth Warren invented the space shuttle. Elizabeth Warren was the first person on the moon.
I didn't go that
Elizabeth
far.
Warren invented gumbo. All this stuff that you've been going on about.
No.
All this stuff.
Yeah.
But I got to give you your props. I actually now believe that Warren will be the nominee.
I think she has a strong opportunity. I think she can blow it, as anyone can, because right now it's wide open. What we know is this.
Okay.
We know that Elizabeth Warren. This is the last look that we took from back in
last snapshot
March.
Okay.
To August, and during that time, Biden, who's staying on the top around 30%, that's still very high. Biden has been flat. He hasn't grown. He's been flat. Sanders has dropped about 13 points.
Yeah, Sanders is pretty much done. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Warren has gone up 16 points.
Okay.
Now, analyze that, though, for a minute, because she's done it without much media support. Mainstream media wasn't talking about her. They were talking about Biden, Sanders, and Harris.
At that point.
That's right.
Now the media is starting to buy into Warren.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is her climb had nothing to do with great media coverage. What she did was she definitely capitalized on the two debates.
Okay.
But she didn't have a lot of opposition on those two debates. She just kind of owned them, because she stayed in her lane. She talked about what she wanted to do for America. She talked about her vision for America. She never got caught up in all of the kind of day-to-day. The other thing that happened was, when she did get good coverage, it was from the reporters on the ground.
Right. Which is what you want.
And they would say that when they saw Elizabeth Warren in a town hall, in a rally,
or running,
that she was making a connection.
Right.
So this is, I liken this to what happened with one of my favorite musical movies, The Greatest Showman.
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman.
Okay.
And The Greatest Showman came out, and the first week did nothing at the box office. I assumed it was going to disappear.
And it slowly climbed up.
And it climbed.
The audience found it.
It's now one of the highest rated musicals in terms of box office
of all time. Well, I'm going to tell you.
So yes,
I'm
the
going to tell you
audience found it. I think the audience found her. But there's one important audience that has not found her yet. And that is the black voter.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know, because she's certainly been talking about racial justice issues. She's certainly been talking about criminal reform issues. She's certainly been talking about funding for historically black universities.
But why would they believe her now? I'm not saying she's lied about it before or that she's done something that...
No, she never lied about it.
I know.
I just don't think she's getting traction in that community
I'm going to tell you why.
Okay. Well, first of all, I think they're consumed with Biden right now.
Well, no. Nobody's consumed with Biden. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Okay.
Two things. Two points I have to make.
Okay.
First one is this. It is a presidential season. And as I've said on the show many times, we've been in election mode since Trump took office.
Yeah.
So it's hard to discern and believe and separate this guy from that guy.
That's true.
And everybody's saying things about social justice right now. Everybody is saying things about equality and rights and police stops. Mm-hmm. She's going to have to find a deeper tone to move people.
Right, I agree.
To get somewhere. That's the first point. Second point, I'm going to tell you why I think Biden is in trouble, and it's not the reason you think, which we're going to discuss a little bit later.
Yeah.
Joe Biden is in trouble because you now have people dropping out of the race. Mm-hmm. You have people sinking. Mm-hmm. But the points aren't going to Joe Biden.
That's true.
See, Joe Biden should be climbing as people leave the race. But he's not.
Right.
Warren is climbing.
Right.
So that makes me think that the support that Bernie is losing is going to Warren. It makes me think that as people leave, Gillibrand, the governor, give me his name. Inslee.
Yeah.
I don't think that support is going to Biden.
You don't?
No, I don't, because his numbers aren't going up dramatically.
That could be true. Now, answer this question for me, because this one I have no answer to.
Hey, Danielle just joined the
Why has Kamala Harris flattened? Is it the opposite? Is it the inverse of Warren? Is it that she's not making a dent on the ground? Is she not making a connection?
The ground game is not tight. If I had to predict it, it would be these reasons. The ground game is not tight, and I think she is a victim of the initial pool being so big that she flashed for a moment, and her team was not strong enough to take advantage of that moment. Is what it appears to be. Mm-hmm. Now, when we get into some primaries, we can see what's going on. But I'm going to go a step deeper, and I'm going to go back to what I've always said about her, even though I give you your props on Elizabeth Warren. Mm-hmm. I still think the best Democratic ticket somewhere, president, vice president, even attorney general, will include Kamala Harris.
It might. Oh, it might.
And I don't think that... She might not be president. At this point, I don't think she will be.
Yeah, I think it might.
But look at that comment. But it's because...
Well,
let me jump back.
Reading my mind.
I know. Let me jump back.
That's another story. Okay.
I'm going to let you do that one. That's actually Danielle.
It is Danielle, yes. An old friend.
I still think she has valid things to say. And I want to see what happens in the next debate when we have all of the front runners together.
Yes.
But you can go ahead and jump on that. And what's up, Danielle?
Well, Danielle has said, I lost it for a second. It'll come back.
It was real quick.
But
There it is.
Danielle has basically said because she's a poser.
She thinks, all right, so, and Danielle and I have had this conversation, but I'm gonna let her chime in and get a little deeper.
Okay.
So tell us why you think she's a poser.
Yeah, I want to know,
And then
because
we can
I've
go
been
from
saying
there.
that too.
And you've been saying it.
So,
you've been saying
yeah.
it. So the reasons may be similar.
And it's interesting because I think she's a poser and Booker is more genuine, and you feel the opposite.
Every time Cory Booker speaks, it seems pleading to me.
Well, I think that's true. But there's a line in a play that I did, which is...
What play?
I don't have to go into that now.
Well, yeah,
There's
you
a
do.
line. No, I
What-
don't.
what was
'cause
it,
no
a-
one's going to know the name
What
of
was
it
it, a
anyway.
porn or something? What's
No.
the name of the play?
I'm not going to go into it, but the line in the play was, you speak like you write everything down before you say it.
And that's exactly what he
And
does.
Harris reads that
But
to
see,
me.
that's what Booker reads to me.
That's right. We've been having
Yeah.
this ongoing discussion.
That doesn't mean he
because
doesn't have-
That's what I see from Harris.
But that doesn't mean-
And it was true in the first debate.
Well,
that was entirely set up.
but-
The whole thing with I was a little girl, completely set up.
But that's still the moment.
It was the
Even
moment,
if it's a
but
pre-
if it had been followed by some genuine moments,
It's not the moment.
she would be higher up.
It's not
now.
the moment that hurt her. It's what came after the moment that hurt her.
Well, what came after was the second debate in Tulsi Gabbard.
Who?
Yeah, I don't care who. It didn't matter who.
It does matter.
What mattered...
Tulsi Gabbard, let me explain this.
Okay.
Kamala was already tanking.
No, she wasn't.
She was.
No, she wasn't. She was in second place.
Harris was on her way down already at that point. It was not sustainable. They said the bounce was going away
Okay.
by then. So my
Give you
point is that that's not
I
what...
wouldn't say tanking, but...
Okay, I won't say tanking. That's not what got her. What got her is that the ground game is not tight. And because the ground game...
I don't go
the ground game is not tight. And because-
You're right, but that's not what's getting her.
It is.
What's getting her is her inability to discuss her own history. The criminal justice stuff, where she tried to come off as this great criminal justice superhero, and Gabbard shot that down and shot it down very badly.
If this were the case...
And that's when she crumbled
Hang
and
on.
has never gone
Now
back
let me make
up.
my point. If that
Okay.
were the case, the people that would hurt her against would be African Americans, because they said that she
So much fun having him.
unfairly prosecuted, and this is what we need.
Yeah.
And he's going to leave again soon because he's going to be upset because he loses this argument.
I'm
That's
gonna leave
why-
now. No.
That's why he secretly... See, you just agree with me. Oh,
Well,
wait.
I want to see Danielle
All right,
said
go.
more. So when asked, she said, I will not do anything for black people who, while trying to play to black people,
She goes,
any way the wind blows.
I don't disagree with that.
Okay. Well, that's being a poser.
See, I don't disagree with that. I
Okay.
think she has a great point.
All
but
right.
I think that...
But I do think
Hang
she'll
on.
be on a ticket.
Hang on. I think that Biden goes any way the wind blows. Mm-hmm. I think that Warren goes any way the wind blows.
I don't.
Oh, of course she does.
I don't see it.
Has she ever talked about social justice before?
Yes, all the time.
Was she a Republican?
I've read her books.
Was she a Republican before?
She was a Republican in her 20s.
Was she a Republican before?
50 years ago, yeah.
Who did she vote for last time?
This last time?
Clinton.
Yeah.
Right?
She voted for Clinton.
Does she still consider Clinton to be a viable candidate? I mean, does she now think that, like everybody else, which is true, that Clinton was a bad candidate?
No, but that's not going whichever way the wind blows. That's going whichever way the wind blows is flip-flopping on issues.
So she's flip-
She has not flip-flopped
Not on one
issue.
Not on one.
Not yet.
Not on one.
Not that I can see. I've read her
Not
books.
on one.
That I've read her
So
books.
we have a
I haven't
politician,
seen it.
America, who has never ever flip-flopped.
Right. That's why I'm
We have a
supporting her.
politician who has never ever lied.
She's authentic.
She's authentic.
Yes.
Pocahontas.
Oh,
All right, let's go to the local news briefs. Let's go. Let's do it.
Do the local. Knew you were going to go.
What are you talking about? I
This
coughed.
is your local news brief for Friday, August 30th, 2019.
On behalf of Chick-fil-A, we are excited to propose another location here in Pasadena. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with our existing location on East Colorado.
On Thursday, August 29th, representatives from Chick-fil-A restaurants gave a presentation at the District 5 Town Hall meeting. The presentation explored the possibility of opening a second Pasadena location on Lake Avenue within District 5 jurisdiction. The popular chain has been criticized in the past for its political positions, and residents in attendance raised concerns about the ideology of the corporation. Before a potential restaurant opens, Chick-fil-A will need to submit a proposal to the city, and other land use and zoning issues will be up for debate. Councilmember Victor Gordo is working against a ballot initiative that could flood Pasadena streets with marijuana dispensaries. If passed, the initiative would overrule many of the laws put in place last year, including Pasadena's cannabis law, which restricts more than 6 dispensaries from operating in the city. The new initiative would allow non-offending commercial cannabis businesses to apply for a permit anytime before December 31st, 2024. Additionally, distance regulations would be removed, allowing cannabis businesses owned prior to 2018 to operate near schools and other residential zones. Gordo is quoted in a Pasadena Weekly article as saying, "The biggest danger is we will all have these shops open anywhere and everywhere in the city, with harm to our neighborhoods and to our business districts." Pasadena Unified School District Superintendent Brian McDonald stated the school district will once again have to discuss closing schools. Within the last year, the PUSD has had a drop in enrollment by 374 students. McDonald credits the decrease to high housing costs. Last year, Cleveland Elementary School closed its doors with only 99 students enrolled at the time. The conversation this time around may focus on closing Franklin Middle School, down in enrollment by 25%, and Wilson Middle School, down by 15%. While the PUSD averages 630 students per school, surrounding districts average from 900 to 1,000.
Well, given these last couple of weeks, I think
the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, I think we ought to talk about weed.
Yeah, so we can both relax. Right?
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So, what is this initiative, and what do they mean by non-offending? I mean, marijuana. There are offending dispensaries and non-offending.
So before the city passed its ordinances, there were a number of dispensaries.
Yeah.
Operating illegally, according to the city, within the city limits. Part of the discussion of the ordinance was that if you were operating illegally, you would be barred from getting a business license and a conditional use permit to ever legally sell in the city limits. So the ordinance is a way to get rid of the city's ordinance, barring that, and allowing everybody to come in and pretty much open up a shop.
That's the initiative.
That's the initiative.
And is that going to go to the voters?
They have enough signatures right now. They've garnered and gathered, I should say, more than 12,000 signatures. So it has gone to the registrar for certification.
So non-offending means people who haven't already operated illegally.
It means people who haven't operated legally. I know. It's
legally?
It's their language.
Okay, now I'm lost.
They don't want to say...
Oh, non-offending. Right. I'm sorry.
Right.
Offending are people that have already operated illegally.
Right.
That's what I meant to say.
Right.
See, it's Biden again.
Yeah. You should run for president.
See, it's 70. No,
Yeah.
No way.
At that rate, pal, you'll be president.
Like
trust
that,
me.
You know.
It has, like I said, they've gathered enough signatures
Yeah.
to turn it into the city clerk. The city clerk has sent it to the registrar's office for certification. And then it will come back, and the council at that point, which they won't do, could pass it outright, ask for a study, at which they will do financial impacts, that kind of thing, and then it will go to the ballot.
Do you see these dispensaries as being big business here?
Not if you only have 6 of them, and they won't even have 6, because now after looking at the city map, they only have enough space for 3. So how much money are you going to make off 3 dispensaries?
Yeah.
They'll bring in some money and some tax dollars, and there'll be a lot of people happier, I guess, but it's not going to be enough to, it's not going to solve the school district's problem like we just saw, or the city's problem.
Well, let's go back to the school
district. And Danielle, CBD for all.
Because they got money, right?
They got money, but they're losing kids.
Right. And they're losing kids to what? Private schools?
They're losing kids now, I would say, to the high price of housing in Pasadena.
So they're moving out.
They're moving to the Inland Empire where housing is still cheap. Look, this was one of the issues with the quarter-cent sales tax, which had to pass. I understand that.
Right.
The district's going to keep losing kids.
Yeah.
So they're going to keep losing average daily attendance money, and they're going to keep needing more and more money. is what happens. Closing a couple of schools is not going to make up for the gap that they're now facing in enrollment.
Do you think that there'll be the outcry this time over school closures that there was last time?
When we get around to a report saying these are the 3 to 4 schools that we're going to close,
Right.
yes, there will be. Right now, school just started and everybody's going, let's get acclimated, not my school, we're going to be fine. And then they're going to hear, oh, it's school ABC, and crowded meetings, marches, the works all over again.
How much of a hardship is it going to be on the students and the parents of those students who are currently attending those schools? Is there a nearby alternative, or is it going to be very disruptive?
Well, the idea will be a nearby
Assuming
alternative.
that it's Franklin and Wilson.
Well, look, the time to do this was at the end of last year so that kids would come back to a new school. But now they're probably going to be told, okay, at the beginning of next year, we're going to do this. So then you have a lot of teachers and a lot of students who are going to go through an entire school years, and parents going, okay, next year the apple cart gets upset as far as schools. So yeah, it's going to be a hardship. It always is. This is never an easy thing. Never.
Well, my friend, I can't believe it's over, but I think a
lot of comments.
We're looking at Facebook, and we've got a lot of comments.
We're going to deal with all this.
So stay with us. We're going to deal with all of this stuff. I think we've got a whole bunch of comments to talk about.
Yeah.
And I want to raise another question, so we got a couple of videos to show as well.
We got more.
We got more, and we're
back together.
We're back together in Studio B.
That's right. Let's
We're
go.
gonna be there. All right. I'm Barry Gordon.
And I'm Andre Coleman.
This is NewsRap Live at 5. Do not go away. We're going to be right back with you.